Hi guys, thank you for tuning into the video. Joseph here again, and today we are going to be removing the carpet off these stairs and installing laminate treads with white risers. I always get asked how I make my risers, and the magic is to get 4x8 sheets of melamine. They're around 14-15 bucks at my local Home Depot, and to have the store cut it down into strips on their panel saw. And that is the most accurate cut you are gonna get. Don't try to do this with a circular saw or your own table saw at home. It's just not gonna be as straight. Altogether, for the melamine and the glue for this project, it ended up being just under 100 bucks. The next step after removing the carpet is to cut off this stair nosing that is currently on the step. If you have removed carpet from your staircase and you had a tuck around style of installation, you have this stair nosing that sticks out. Here I'm using my jigsaw to cut it exactly flush with the current riser that is on the screen. And this is very important because your new riser is going to be flat up against the stair nosing and the riser. When I need to get up close and personal against the skirt board on the side, I just use my multi-tool to finish the job. My next step in the process is using my Milwaukee nailer to secure the steps so there are no squeaks, and this is one of the most important steps in this whole procedure. You can use screws, you can use nails, and I just have nails on hand, so that's what I'm using. So after you cut the nosing off the staircase, you need to make sure that the actual stair tread, the surface is super clean and free of dust, so your glue would adhere properly. I would recommend for you to have a vacuum on hand so you can always clean up the little fine particles as you go. I would also recommend to have a finish nailer on hand with you, a rubber mallet, and some cleaning wipes for when you inevitably get glue either on the face or on the actual flooring material. How I do stairs that is like a foolproof method is to get one of these things. It's called a stair angle finder or a stair tread finder, and this one specifically was about on Amazon, and it works amazing. You don't have to bust out your tape measure and measure angles, none of that. It literally saves a whole bunch of time, and it's almost impossible to be inaccurate. How it works is you put it up next to the wall, you slide it in, you tighten the nut, then you go on the other side and you do the same thing. And you move this side to side and make sure it doesn't wiggle. So now that you are sure that you have everything nice and tight, you can very slowly take it out. And on my bar, I have a little L for the left side, so I know which side to butt my material against. So, because if I turn this around the other way, it would be off. So I have a little L marked on the left side for that. Now you just take this out very carefully, and if you bump this into something, put it back on the stair and retake your measurement because 100% it's off. So you get a flat surface, you put your material on it, you line it up exactly where the flooring ends on both sides, and then you just take a pencil and you mark your line, your angle, also with the other side too. And now when you take off the guide, both of your marks are right there and you're ready to take it to the saw. So like on this Milwaukee chop saw, I have a little, like a laser line that it tells me exactly where that blade is gonna go, and I just match that exactly to the line that I made right here. and I run over the line with the blade touching basically the board to ensure that I'm gonna have a perfectly good cut. Like my blade's not gonna veer off anywhere. So when I'm, sure in myself, I just go ahead. I go ahead and make that cut. Then I would just flip my board around, put it back on the saw. Do the same process over and over again. Please use a fine finish saw blade so your results look good. Nobody wants a jagged floorboard. And the really high count tooth blade on this chop saw really helps. So now I have my cut pieces and I'm butting this edge up to the white riser. So I need to cut this lip off, and I just take my knife blade and I go through the whole board, cutting it off. Nice and clean. I need to make this line with a straight edge, and I'm going to use my riser as a straight edge because I know it's straight. Make a straight line right there. Now the next step is you need to test fit your board, and I like mine a little bit tight, so I have to hammer it down. I know that the angles match and I know that it's flush against this, so now I can put glue underneath and put this board down. So I know my first board fits. Now I need to apply the glue right here and put my second board down because this floor requires one stair to be made out of 2 boards. So I'm going to be very gracious with the glue. And I'm going to go ahead and lock this board. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it into the other one. So now I get this beautiful stair tread that has no gaps on the side. It's perfectly flush. And it looks amazing. So now the next step you would think is to put the stair nose on, right? No. The next step is to put the white riser on, and the white riser, you measure that exactly the same way as you would measure your actual floorboard. So again, you loosen up your stair measuring tool. Put one end against the other. You make sure it's flush. You tighten your knobs. It's nice and touching this board, and you know that your cut is going to be good. So then my Home Depot cut the boards at 7.5 inches, and this is now 7.5. So I see the 7 on this side. So this is 7 inches. And it's also 7 inches about on this side. So I need to cut my riser 7 inches high. So once again, be very careful taking it out. Make sure nothing moves. Well, you're going to transfer these marks onto your actual board that you're going to be installing. So I carry my mark over, and since this is the left side and this was standing upright, so I need to align this with where the ground is, right? So there it is. I aligned it. Now I'm gonna mark 7 inches. And then I just lightly make my mark. And now I could put this thing away. I can put it anywhere because I don't have to worry about it moving on me. This squiggly line is basically a mark for me where to shorten the long board, since I can get 2 risers out of this one long cut. So now, just like with the flooring, we line up the saw on the mark. Make sure that it's the same on the whole line. And cut it. And then you do the same with the other side. Now that we have our piece cut to length with the correct angles, we need to mark that 7 inches that we measured inside the house. So I just line up my straight edge on the piece and I mark my line. Then I bring it over to the table saw and just cut it out. So now when we walk in, cut side up. Boom. There she is. And it's all the way flush. So again, don't skip out on glue, because this is gonna save you from creaks and stuff moving around in the future. Now you put one side in, and if you cut a little bit too tight, that's okay. You put in the second side and you're done. Now you have a perfectly angled riser. Adjust it just a little bit. So now it's sitting flush against the whole stair. So now I could just leave this and put the stair nosing on. And then for the rest of the stairs, the process just restarts. So then you would measure the stair tread, you would measure the stair riser, measure the stair tread, measure the riser, and you keep going and going until the whole stair tread or staircase is done. And to measure the stair nose, you just put up a tape measure. You get your measurement, which is, mine is 34 1/4. You mark that on the stair nose, you cut it, you glue it, you put it in, and you're done. So after you measure and you cut your stair nose, you take your glue, you put a lot, then you put your stair nose in. After you line up your stair nose and you want it to stay in place, I like to put a couple of finish nails just to hold it in place until the glue dries. That's it. And this is how the staircase looks afterwards. After you're all done, everything looks nice and pretty, no gaps anywhere. And you have your cheap riser that looks amazing. It's glossy, so dirt doesn't really stick to it. And once you step back and take a look, it looks really amazing. So here's the finished product. And I just want to thank you guys for watching again. If you guys enjoyed this video or it helped you out, please consider subscribing and sharing your comments down below. Once again, thanks for watching my video. I'll see you guys in the next one.